looking at all that have happened and the kinds of things that are being said here, it appears to me that some shoddy work was done in trying to trial the woman.
Now there are substantive matters. First of all, the counts were 78. The defective counts were even less than 10. The rest of the charges were evaluated on their merit. You did a shoddy work, poor work. Godfred supervised the poor work.
That's why he doesn't
with you.
Minia, mamena was saying more about myself, so was one was scrappy Eddie, and mamma like if you win a shame on your binon, so when you be envy. Your mamma said in Cۆurt Tamakloe, the court case, and now Professor Ransford Gyampo, one lawyer, Edudzi Tamakloe, or Boba Key Point program, my yen with TV3, so more of Mabi, Eddie far as someone at home. No mummy in someone or more can, as a Mabi, Akubin crew, now someone more can any say, as a verdict no about Bontino, MPP, a lot of them they are complaining about the verdict. Judge no or the bar abontin no into once more can any say edumre bi na some MPP for the assem echo court na say judges no omudi mo omudi a na omo judges no abaso say omo eyade but da ankwa mo omo no na kire say omo ba she judges no but say this etuna Ghana memu ha enye enu nti verdict bi a aba no say MPP for entiase the court is there for them to appeal. By say we better political talk show on the platforms no more yede de sa insem no de omo mienu omo say omo enso so na eho kura ehia e na omo to aso edi nkomo say NPP for was be e can they should blame the former Attorney General Godfred Dame because ono na wan hihye ne nneoma yi na wan yere ntutu yi because na waye na adwen say wo pese wo jeri maame no by all means intigrata akura na wose wodi kokopie mu court adwuma wose wo yere court wo se de be ya maame no se wadi boni bi a court no begina so apanation no esan say na open tem ageri maame no nti wan tutu ne nyoma yie e na ama wi nyina aba enti se NPP for e wasem bi enka they should blame former Attorney General awoye Godfred Dame but emum enye judges na omo ede sa court verdict no eba ye no e na NPP for was so many every almost so. It was more so. Eddie Nkomobi ma omo kan se chama wuntumi sisi ya ne court case. Ewo ho. A omo seeking for appeal. Enti se moko appeal no na se yedi ema mo ede be asem na mo beka. Ede afa court no ho. Mo beka se court no mo anye omo dwuma yie no nti na ya ma chama wuntumi appeal no wa meni ana se no so mo bekoso mo bashi court no. Enti sasem bi esi NPP for enya abotre se ne ye be ya ye de pere ye ebetena Ghana memu ha but yes say bia asem bi ku court wa ebra asem no kura ye nkan ye no na nkrofo bebre adi kan afọ mo adwe dada sa asem we die outcome we na ye hwehwe enti se ankoba sa pe na nkrofo ebu afu no mo keka de omo pe because okodu court wa eye mra na ye de ye adwuma ewo ho enye diamanfo kan wa bonten na ye adwuma ewo court enti sa asem bi esia sometimes nkrofo mo abonten no eye no mo kan am make up their mind enti se koba se verdict no eba na se ankoba sa pe na obubu afu enye sa nso na ye de kan asem ewo court the asem no etie no saa na ye be kan no so obi ko gina court no ntumi anka na asem yie na se eko etia na you should blame yourself and I say you should blame your lawyer but not the judges enu nti some people before asem bi eka they should blame Godfred Dame na ebum enye judges no minua nkofo mienu no na se papa no mienu no omo de nkomo bebre yenko na yenko tie omo nsem a omo kana mgidi se yebesunya nema ba ko na se mienu bi e de afiri omo nchen ansa na ebehwe omo videos no meselo so wonya subscribe ya na wa subscribe e de amame like video we na share mo nu e bi no so wonya bi afiri yakopon hira na wonka ho ye video.
I think that generally we as a people had come to a certain conclusion that corruption had festered so much in the lead up to the 2024 elections. And one of the reasons why some of us actively spoke in favor of President Mahama's presidency, attempt to be elected as president was the belief that given the promise of oral, we'll be able to make some giant strides in the fight against corruption. And so the expectations among the generality of Ghanaians are high when it comes to matters of corruption. And in my view, I am not so surprised that then when issues of corruption are brought to the fore and people are held before the court processes, and then we are told that they've been convicted and there's been an appeal and they've been acquitted and discharged, definitely it will raise some eyebrows because people are tired of corruption and they want something drastic to be done. So I'm not surprised about the posturing of a section of the people about the fact that Sedina has been acquitted and discharged. But you see, I'm a student of institutions, and I believe that the rules of the game must always be followed. Not the talks of the game, but the rules of the game must always be followed. Sitting here, I heard, I think around the table, there is an agreement that charges that were filed, some of the charges that were filed against Sedina were defective. What does the rule say if charges are defective? What are we supposed to do? What's the court supposed to do? Number one. Number two, around the table and reading portions of the judgment, I am hearing that it appears that she was presumed even guilty before the case was tried. That is number two. Number three, I'm also hearing that the prosecution, though the woman may not be innocent, the prosecution failed to prove beyond all reasonable doubt.
But who else had that responsibility?
That she was guilty. And I've heard that in criminal prosecutions, you would have to try as much as possible to ensure that all doubts around the matter is cleared. I mean, if as a people, we don't want this, let's say we don't want it, once we suspect, even if there are doubts, let's throw into jail. But until we change that rule that governs our legal processes, then as a student of institutions, I'm saying we are bound to go by that. And so my view is that looking at all that have happened and the kinds of things that are being said here, it appears to me that some shoddy work was done in trying to trial the woman. Some shoddy work was done. And if that is the case, we ask ourselves, is she entitled to an appeal? If she's entitled to an appeal, what are the judges expected to do? Are they supposed to look at the facts of the matter, or they are supposed to do the work, just listen to public sentiments and keep her, in incarceration? I believe that it is important for us to look at our whole legal processes, once again, and to appreciate the rules that governs the way they conduct affairs. I'm hearing here that apart from the charges that were defective, that were sidelined, the charges that were supposed to stand were also evaluated. And it was based on all these that a judgment that sought to acquit and to discharge him, was given.
Now there are substantive matters. First of all, the counts were 78. The defective counts were even less than 10. The rest of the charges were evaluated on their merit. You did a shoddy work, poor work. Godfred supervised a poor work.
That's why he doesn't disagree with you.
And you know why? He never took his work serious.
What do you mean by that?
Yes. And I'll tell you. And you see, sometimes when I listen to Godfred, I say, look.
I beg, the man is not here. Stop.
the statement he issued, what do you think he was doing? This is an innocent person that he seeks to attack and destroy.
Who is the innocent person he's attacking?
Oh.
The man is AG doing his work. If he's here, he will defend himself. But I am complaining.
So let him finish.
No.
Let me make my point. Let me make my point. I've listened to him.
So are you referencing the statement he made?
Yes, the statement he made. I'm not permitted. Who issued the statement?
No, you deal with the statement.
No, Kofi, who issued the statement? What is this trying? Imagine if it's found that there was no notice of appeal. Do you know what Godfred would have succeeded in doing? Is to undermine even the judges. Why would you have entertained an appeal when there is no notice of appeal?
Are you referencing this particular document?
See the date, 9th. Where is it? The registry of the High Court. 9th May 2024. Signed, High Court Accra. This is fictitious, shameful. And you think this person should be taken serious? And you see the painful part of this conversation is that, and like I said, this is not one who, in the Akufo-Addo matter, the same shoddy work was done by him. What happened? The same High Court judge says the burden was shifted on Akufo-Addo. When, look, I've always maintained the only work I would do permanent is to be a lawyer. It's to be a lawyer.
Petrol. Right now, you sell petrol.
That's why I say permanent. This one is not chieftaincy title. I will leave it. You understand? So I have always been cautious in dealing with legal matters, particularly those that borders on the liberty of an individual. The liberty. You have a situation where the justices of the Court of Appeal had the opportunity of evaluating. And look, I am not surprised. Look, when the Court of Appeal acquitted and discharged Akufo-Addo, go and look at Godfred's statement he issued immediately. Was to attack the justices of the Court of Appeal. That's him.
Because he didn't go in.
Because he didn't go his way. There's an Attorney General who today, a former Attorney General who today, the disciplinary committee of the General Legal Council had found a prima facie case of professional misconduct against him.
He says the Republic.
When was the last time you saw this happen?
Said the Republic had nothing to do in this 2024 matter in terms of the conduct of that appeal.
Look, let me just go ahead.
That's what he references.
The office of the Attorney General does not belong to Godfred Dame. It is an office that continues. The state prosecutor on record, if you read the judgment, the Court of Appeal judgment, do you have it?
Yes.
There's a named individual there, Hilda Craig. Mm-hmm. She was part of the people who prosecuted the case before the High Court. She handled the appeal and a different outcome. Unless, of course, my friend here, and listening to Ahiagba has, won't me filed a notice of appeal?
I know that the process underway. I don't know if they're found.
Yes, this was
so the understanding I get from you is that you expect only one outcome from the Court of Appeal, a dismissal of the appeal.
No, not exactly. I didn't say that. I didn't suggest that.
You didn't know why I asked you that question.
Well, I didn't suggest that.
Think through my question.
Think about what Martin said earlier. Before you answer.
But you see, I asked you this question for an obvious reason.
So that is a blackmail question that you asked.
You see,
it's a trick question.
Yeah, it's a blackmail question.
You see, the point I am making is that, Alfred, I've heard people who have not even read the judgment pontificate on it. Yeah. This morning, when I listened to my learned senior.
Your learned senior, Martin.
No, you.
I'm coming. Listen to him.
You would stay calm.
Rehearing was the normal outcome of this.
Kofi, listen to me.
Listen on your philosophy.
Listen. No, what philosophy?
He is not even. Listen to him.
My point is that, Kofi, with the greatest of respect to you, you have not exhausted this judgment. You have not. I've listened to you, and you have not. And you have
Tell
not.
Me when.
You have not, because if you read this judgment, it will expose your prejudice.
No, what exactly?
What I've read confirms what I've said.
You see.
But you have not read all.
Please, the defective charges. For instance, count 45. Conspiracy to commit crime, namely, willfully causing financial loss to the state, contrary to section so and so. Now listen to the particulars. Sedina Tamakloe Ationo, Daniel Axim, April 2016 in Accra, in the Greater Accra region, agreed to act together with a common purpose to willfully cause financial loss to the state. That's it.